By now it's clear that there is a housing crisis in Delhi that has been in the making for decades. It's time we confront it. On May 30th, a building collapse in Saidulajab in South Delhi killed 6 people. 2 doctors, 3 engineering graduates and 1 owner of an eatery next door. On June 3, a fire in a bed and breakfast in Hauz Rani killed 23, including 14 foreign nationals. A family of 8 from Gurugram dead in a matter of minutes. What's common between these 2 incidents except the outrage and promises of inquiry reports by the government? Both buildings were operational in areas that are categorized as unplanned. At the Hindustan Times, through a 4-part series, we explore the silent cost of unbridled expansion that Delhi has seen in the last few decades, land control by the Delhi Development Authority, the dangers that encroachments pose, and a corrupt and inefficient licensing regime. Part 1 of the series tackles DDA's land control. It all dates back to 1957 when the body was first formed. The partition of India saw a surge of people from across the newly demarcated border. It overwhelmed civic services, caused severe overcrowding and led to unregulated, haphazard development across the city. The charter of the DDA describes rather simply its job: to promote and secure the development of Delhi according to the plan, and for that purpose the authority shall have the power to acquire, hold, manage land and other property. The DDA was tasked with master planning, providing affordable housing, rehabilitating the slums and managing land. Essentially, it has had a complete monopoly over land and its development, zoning laws, even commercialization in the national capital since 1957. In a way, we can attribute the emergence of satellite cities like Noida and Gurgaon to it. If the DDA had simply performed the role it was created for, neither may have existed. Anyway, over the decades, rigid zoning excluded the working class and the migrants, forcing rapid rise of unauthorized colonies on agricultural land and jhuggi-jhopri clusters. Now this is where it gets interesting. Since these areas fall outside the DDA's approved zoning map, those who live there have no civic infrastructure. My colleagues Paras Singh and Snehil Sinha accessed the Shelter Baseline Report by the National Institute of Urban Affairs for Master Plan 2041. This is what it says. Delhi's formal housing system has failed to match the city's pace of urbanization, leaving the city in a constant state of housing shortage. It has failed to provide housing for all, as the housing tenure options were rigid and their pricing was unaffordable. This has encouraged the informal housing market to flourish more. The most visible manifestation of the gap in housing demand and supply in Delhi was proliferation of slums and unauthorized colonies that are scattered around the city. The National Institute of Urban Affairs estimates that more than 60% of Delhi's population today lives in unplanned informal settlements characterized by compromised living conditions, poor infrastructure and unsafe housing. It describes the spread of these settlements as the most visible manifestation of the gap in the housing demand and the supply in Delhi. All these colonies began as peripheral settlements but evolved into dense urban neighborhoods housing millions of people. Residential properties were converted into paying guest accommodations, hostels, warehouses, banquet facilities, restaurants, clinics, hotels and commercial establishments. In many areas, roads designed for village settlements became the only access routes for multi-story buildings, guest houses and markets serving thousands. Urban villages such as Hauz Rani, Munirka, Khirki Extension, Shahpurjat, Saidulajab and others became important centers of affordable rental housing for students, migrant workers and professionals, precisely because the formal housing market failed to create sufficient affordable rental stock. Buildings designed for one purpose are repeatedly adapted for another. Densities rise beyond infrastructure capacity. Emergency access shrinks. Enforcement becomes reactive rather than preventive. And these 2 recent tragedies, the Hauz Rani fire and the Saidulajab building collapse, demonstrate how these long-term planning failures ultimately manifest as public safety risks. In part 2, we will take you to what is the state of these colonies. Do watch out.